Real Madrid pull out of race to land Marc Guehi for 2 reasons. Real Madrid have reportedly ruled themselves out of the race for Crystal Palace captain Marc Guehi as Liverpool and Bayern Munich lead the chase for his signature. The 25-year-old England defender is expected to move on next summer after deciding not to extend his contract, which runs until June 2026. He will be free to negotiate a pre-contract agreement with overseas clubs from January 1st. Guehi was one of several options considered by Madrid as they assessed centre-back targets across Europe, but the Spanish giants have now walked away from the deal, according to reports in Spain, as claimed that Guehi's salary and signing-on demands are deemed too high for a move to proceed. It represents the latest twist in a saga that began when Liverpool came within minutes of signing Guehi on deadline day. A $35 million fee had been agreed, and the player completed a medical before Palace blocked the transfer after failing to find a replacement. Real Madrid have reportedly ruled themselves out of the race for Crystal Palace captain Marc Guehi. Reports in Spain claim that Guehi's salary and signing-on demands are deemed too high for Madrid to proceed with a move. Palace chairman Steve Parish later argued that keeping his captain was essential to avoid breaking down the fabric of the team. He told Men in Blazers podcast the club could not afford to weaken themselves further after previous high-profile departures. Marc was great about it as a person, Parish said. Liverpool made the offer. It was a massive club. He was obviously interested in going, but he was fine about it, staying if that was the decision we made. Guehi has since been praised for his professionalism and influence under Oliver Glasner, who confirmed last month that the defender had turned down a new contract in pursuit of what he described as something different. Spanish outlet AS reported that Madrid's scouting team had tracked Guehi alongside Dayot Upamecano, Ibrahima Konate, and William Saliba before ruling the deal out as virtually impossible. They suggested Liverpool and Bayern Munich are now leading the race. The Palace captain's performances continue to justify that attention. He helped lead his club to last season's FA Cup victory over Manchester City and the Community Shield, and remains one of the Premier League's most reliable defenders. Speaking to TNT Sports in October, Guehi said the collapsed Liverpool transfer was quickly forgotten. Palace chairman Steve Parish claimed that keeping his captain was essential to avoid breaking down the fabric of the team. "The sun goes up, the sun goes down, life goes on," he said. "That's my mindset." Bayern Munich are also believed to have met his representatives in recent weeks as they prepare for possible defensive changes next summer, while Liverpool retain long-term interest. Alexis Mac Allister's thoughts on match-winning Liverpool display speak volumes. The Liverpool number 10 scored the only goal as his side beat Real Madrid 1-0 at Anfield. Alexis Mac Allister scored Liverpool's winner against Real Madrid. Alexis Mac Allister says he isn't getting carried away with his match-winning performance against Real Madrid after a tough start to the season. The Argentina international was crucial in Liverpool's 1-0 victory over the Spanish giants, as his second-half header was the difference between the two sides. However, Mac Allister acknowledged that this type of display hasn't been a regularity so far during a disjointed campaign. The 26-year-old told Amazon Prime Video, "It's true that maybe it wasn't the beginning of the season that I wanted. It was a little bit hard for me, but now I'm getting in the rhythm. I just wanted to play some games in a row. So I'm happy that I had the possibility to play against Villa and again today. So I'm really happy with it." Jude Bellingham makes feelings clear on Liverpool fans after Trent Alexander-Arnold booed. The victory over Los Blancos gives Arne Slot's side their first back-to-back wins since September 23rd, and despite the teams only being separated by 1 goal, the scoreline could have been even more favorable to the Reds, with Mac Allister heaping praise on Madrid goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. "Courtois is a fantastic keeper, as we all know," he said. "He had a few saves. I think he's a really good keeper, but today, I think we were better, and we deserved to win." The all-important goal came from the brilliant cross from Dominik Szoboszlai's free kick, which was perfectly delivered onto the head of Mac Allister. When talking about his role in the set piece, the Argentine added, "Normally I'm the one who blocks for Hugo Ekitike, but at that time I blocked and I saw the space. It was a good ball from Dom, I just had to head it." After the win, the Liverpool number 10 emphasized the importance of maintaining this level of display going forward. Mac Allister said, "An important win, but we know that it doesn't mean anything because we had the experience of last season when we finished first in the league phase of the Champions League, and after we were out quite early. So we need to keep on going. I think it's important to build confidence. It's a good day." Liverpool now have a 3-week break from the Champions League, with their next match being at home against PSV Eindhoven, though an important clash with Manchester City is this weekend's Premier League task. The trip to the Etihad will be the Reds' final game before the November international break. Real Madrid rejected Liverpool captain Van Dijk after agents approach. Real Madrid rejected Liverpool captain Van Dijk after agents approach. Revealed, Real Madrid rejected Liverpool captain Van Dijk after agents approach. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk was rejected by Real Madrid last season. As his contract was winding down, Marca says agents for Van Dijk, 34, offered the Dutchman to Real Madrid. The move came before it broke publicly that Trent Alexander-Arnold had committed to Real Madrid as his Liverpool deal was running down. After learning that Real were seeking a younger centre-half signing, Van Dijk quickly abandoned the idea and returned to the negotiating table with Liverpool ahead of signing a new deal to 2027. Real Madrid, meanwhile, would swoop for Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth to solve their centre-back search. Mohamed Salah ally hits out at Wayne Rooney and co. for unfair criticism. Mohamed Salah has been criticized by the likes of Wayne Rooney and Paul Scholes this season, but his former Egypt teammate, Mohamed Zidane, has defended the Liverpool star. Mohamed Salah has faced criticism this season. The recent critique of Mohamed Salah by notable pundits such as Wayne Rooney and Paul Scholes has been deemed excessive, according to Salah's former Egypt colleague, Mohamed Zidane, who has fervently defended the Liverpool star. This season, Salah hasn't quite lived up to his usual stellar performance, netting 5 goals and providing 3 assists in 14 matches across all competitions. His relative dip in form has coincided with a slump for Liverpool, with Arne Slot's players suffering 6 losses in 7 games prior to their 2-0 victory over Aston Villa on Saturday. Rooney cast doubt on Salah's commitment following Liverpool's 2-1 defeat to Chelsea at the beginning of October. Similarly, fellow Manchester United legend Scholes criticized Salah for delivering some of the worst stuff he'd seen from him recently. Salah has found the back of the net in his last 2 outings for the Reds and will be crucial to Liverpool's hopes of overcoming Real Madrid in the Champions League on Tuesday. Former Borussia Dortmund player Zidane, who shared the international stage with Salah, believes the criticism leveled at him has been overly severe. "I see an exaggerated reaction from the English media in their criticism of Salah," Zidane told Al Arabiya. "Everyone knows what he has done over the past years." Wayne Rooney has criticized Salah this season. "He will always be a source of pride for Liverpool fans and Egyptians with all his achievements. The amount of criticism he's getting in England right now is neither normal nor logical. After all the numbers and performances he has produced, it's not fair at all. You can't sum up Liverpool's problems in Salah alone. The entire team hasn't been performing well recently, and it's not just Salah whose form has dipped. It's unfair to put all the blame on him." Salah hit his 250th goal for Liverpool with his strike against Villa and continues to be the standout figure in Slot's squad. Despite the Reds splashing out around $600 million on fresh talent over the summer, Salah still carries the heaviest attacking responsibilities. Holding Salah solely responsible is unfair, but it's also part of the burden that comes with being a player of his stature, Zidane added. "In my opinion, Salah has a very strong personality that allows him to handle pressure. He has faced tougher periods. We are fortunate to see details of the contracts breaking records, and he still managed to stay focused. The depth they go into the issue is not about Salah individually; it's about the team as a whole. Qualify for Champions Liverpool are not at their best collectively, and naturally Salah is affected like the rest of his teammates. You just don't see it as much these days that players get rewarded for goals or assists. The feeling in modern football is that teams want players to focus on team success and not individual. There are additional payments for overall awards like Player of the Season, caps for country, etc., but it's mainly to do with qualifying for Europe. If Liverpool are in the Champions League next season, I suspect Salah will want to be there. If not, then he may start to ask some questions. At the moment, there are plenty of Liverpool fans that think Salah should leave, but that old saying, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone," could well ring true for Red supporters next year if Salah does move on. Ryan Gravenberch on new Liverpool contract, we haven't talked yet. After reports of Liverpool wanting to offer Ryan Gravenberch a new contract, the midfielder briefly addressed his future in front of the media. Gravenberch established himself as one of the first names on the team sheet last season and has retained his position as Liverpool's deepest-lying midfielder. The 23-year-old is contracted at Anfield until 2028, but Fabrizio Romano recently reported that Liverpool want to offer the Dutchman a new contract in addition to Dominik Szoboszlai. Romano stated that Liverpool have not already prepared a contract agreement, but internally the club want to have a conversation with the player over a new deal. With Gravenberch selected as the player to front the media ahead of Real Madrid's visit in the Champions League, the midfielder offered a brief update. On his future, he said, "Obviously, I'm happy here, we have to see. We haven't talked yet about a new contract, but we will see. There will no doubt be a desire from the player's side to see his status in the team reflected in any new deal, but he is more than deserving of new terms." At 23, Gravenberch has yet to reach his peak years, and after the contract fiasco last season, the club ought to be aware of the importance of locking in key players well in advance. Transition to number 6 was not easy. Gravenberch was not a man of many words during his press conference, but did joke that the reason he is scoring more goals this season is that he has been listening to my dad about shooting more. It has added another dimension to his game, which he admitted the transition to the number 6 role was not easy after being tasked with the role at the start of last season. "It was not easy," Gravenberch said, of developing into a defensive midfielder. "I played it a little bit before already, so I knew what to expect. When the coach came, we had a big conversation with him about what he expects from me. But from now on, I just focus on the number 6 position, and I try to do my best." Paul Joyce hits Liverpool with fresh injury blow before Real Madrid showdown. Liverpool looks set to be without Alexander Isak for the much-anticipated Champions League clash with Real Madrid this week, following a new update from Paul Joyce. Arne Slot's side hosts the Spanish Giants on Tuesday night in the next chapter between two great European rivals over the decades. For Liverpool, it is a crucial game in their efforts to reach the Champions League knockout rounds, with last month's 1-0 defeat away to Galatasaray giving them some work to do. The injuries are beginning to rack up a little for the Premier League champions, with the likes of Alisson and Isak the most high-profile recent absentees. Now, writing on X on Monday, Joyce confirmed that Isak didn't take part in team training, suggesting that he will miss out against Madrid at Anfield. Alexander Isak misses Liverpool training ahead of Real Madrid. Curtis Jones back with group. Isak's Liverpool career off to a frustrating start. Isak simply hasn't been able to get going in a Liverpool shirt yet, having arrived without a proper pre-season behind him, followed by picking up an injury. It is far from ideal for both the Reds and the Swede, who will no doubt be desperate to show the fans why he is the most expensive signing in the Reds' history. For now, Hugo Ekitike looks likely to continue leading the line, with the Frenchman Liverpool's most successful summer signing so far, with Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo expected to be on either flank against Madrid. That said, Slot may be tempted to start Florian Wirtz, potentially using him in a left-sided role instead of Gakpo, with the midfield three of Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Dominik Szoboszlai needing to continue. Meanwhile, the backline will almost certainly consist of Georgi Mamardashvili, Connor Bradley, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk, but Slot needs to decide between Andy Robertson and Milos Kerkez at left-back. The former did well in Saturday's 2-0 win at home to Aston Villa in the league, and given the latter's struggles at Liverpool so far, playing the Scot arguably makes more sense, with his experience key on a big night at Anfield. Trent Alexander-Arnold says he has mixed emotions about returning to Liverpool as a Real Madrid player. Trent Alexander-Arnold has admitted that he has mixed emotions ahead of his Liverpool return. The Reds are set to take on Real Madrid at Anfield on Tuesday evening in their next Champions League clash. Many were wondering whether the right-back would even be fit enough to play against his former club due to the hamstring injury he sustained earlier in the season. In the end, however, he's managed to make a full recovery, with the defender saying that he felt that it was destiny for him to be returning to Liverpool this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold knew that Real Madrid would get Liverpool in the Champions League draw. Before the Champions League draw was even conducted, most fans were wondering what would happen if Real Madrid were drawn to face Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold's Anfield exit left a sour taste in the mouths of fans as, despite him hinting that he was going to stay put throughout most of the 2024-25 campaign, he chose to jump ship. Ali McCoist has already said that the reception he'll receive from Liverpool fans will be hostile, with none of them being able to understand why he chose to leave. And now, while speaking to Amazon Prime Sports, the Englishman has shared how he really feels about returning to Liverpool so soon. "I think when the draw was announced, everyone kind of knew it was going to happen. he said. It was destined for that fixture to come, and obviously they're a top team, so I knew at some stage, at some point, I'd end up going back there or playing against Liverpool here or there. It's happening so soon, mixed emotions, and I think it will be a very difficult game, but it's one I'm excited for. He was then asked why he thinks it'll be a difficult game, and he replied, "Of course, the reception and the atmosphere will contribute, but more so the football for me. I played there with the lads and under the coach. I understand how good of a team they are, and although they haven't had the results of late, they're still a top footballing team, and nobody here thinks it's going to be an easy game. Liverpool must do everything in their power to stop Trent Alexander-Arnold's creativity coming out against them." There's no hiding from the fact that Alexander-Arnold is one of football's most creative players. Although his natural position is as a right-back, he's been used as a defensive midfielder and is often seen pushing as far up the wing as possible. His range of passing is impeccable, and even though his defensive work may not be the best, he more than makes up for his shortcomings when on the attack. Liverpool have missed the number of chances that Alexander-Arnold made for them this season, with neither Connor Bradley nor Jeremy Frimpong being able to live up to his standards. Florian Wirtz was brought in to help try and fill the void, and even though he's now got 3 assists, he's failed to live up to expectations. If Liverpool don't manage to close Alexander-Arnold down on Tuesday, they could find themselves in a whole world of trouble, especially with Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. leading their attacking line.